Hello there.
Well, hello, beautiful.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Fandom Fights. We got an exciting singles match for you today. I am Tim. That is Nick. Nick, these two players are people that play in Fandom Fights. They've answered questions. They've missed some questions. They've played for titles. One of them has held a title. And they also played in a tournament, lost at some point in that tournament, and now they're playing because of that. Did I get all that right, Nick?
Vaguely.
Okay, well, why don't you say it a little bit better?
Yeah, Cameron and David here. I don't think they've ever played against each other, which is wild because it feels like they've been around for a while. Both of them are jumping to their keyboards, so maybe they have played before. I'm not sure, but they have. They've played before. It's Cameron versus David 2.
Great.
Unless you're talking about a triple threat, in which case it wouldn't be, but I'll go back and look at the schedule. Regardless. I'm excited for this. I think these are two staples. They represent different portions of Fandom Fights. And yes, you're right. They both made it to the... Oh, hello, Anna. They both made it to the quarterfinals in the tournament. Both fell to former champions, Tyler Birch in the case of David and Joe Fairley in the case of Holzmann. So now they find themselves here with another chance to possibly get back to that title. Let's see if they can do it in the match here today.
Tons of champions here today, Nick. Those two are basically have played champions, have been on champion caliber teams. You and me, Anna's back there. She's a future champ. Lots of champs here today. So love to see it. Let's go talk to them right now in the, what are they called? Promos. Holy shit. The promos.
So yeah, David and I have played before, and it didn't go great for me last time. I played not ideal, kind of kicked my ass. We're gonna hope it goes better. You know, I had a solid start to the season. David had a solid start to his season. We'll see what happens. However it goes, I'm pretty okay. Bring Holes back to Fandom, please. That's all I gotta say.
I'm tired, but it's always fun to play. Fun to find I love camp, and yeah. As always, relaxed. I watched 3 movies for this. One of them in the theaters. And yeah, so let's play.
Is it too late to tell David that the John Krasinski film If is not in Fandom Fights?
Yet.
Let's get started with round number 1. Nick, how's it going to work?
Round number 1 is going to work like this. There's going to be 10 questions in the round of Fandom Fights. Each player is going to have 15 seconds to write down their answer. At the end of 15 seconds, we'll say pens down. At which point, the players will reveal their answer and say it aloud. Each correct answer is worth 1 point apiece. Should any individual player get all 10 questions correct in round number 1, they would receive a bonus question. Each player will have 3 repeats, 1 challenge for the entirety of the match. Players, any questions to begin round number 1?
Is Tim aware of the fact that I legitimately watched If yesterday?
I was not.
Your first question will come in the category of Disney animation. Which Disney animated film features a restaurant called Mudka's Meat Hut?
Did you have an imaginary friend growing up?
I can't remember because one day the joy inside me was trapped in like a chasm, and so my imaginary friend jumped off of the rocket ship so that my joy could escape and come back to me, and therefore he died, and I don't recall.
That's fair. That's fair.
I watched the second part of that movie today.
Good movie.
And my joy took me to the moon.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Break me. Why don't you? Let's go to Cameron.
Emperor's New Groove.
And David.
Emperor's New Groove.
The Emperor's New Groove is correct. Great film. Your next question is in the category of horror icons.
Woo-hoo.
What is the first name of Allison's boyfriend in 2018's Halloween? You threw off the Emperor's Groove.
Home of the Mug of Meat.
Sorry. Great movie.
I didn't write this round, but I wanted to add that.
That's fair.
Mug of Meat. Home of the Mug of Meat.
Is that in your like top 10 Disney movies?
I don't know.
It's up there for me. 5.
It's probably, I could safely say top 20, but
1. Pens down. Let's go to David.
Cameron?
And Cameron.
I saw the look on David's face. Yeah,
Cameron is correct.
proving that the people writing the round ones don't know who the matches are for.
Correct.
I was like, wait.
All right, what's next?
next question comes in the category of DC. What type of item does the factory produce where Jensen and Cougar work after faking their deaths in The Losers?
That's like I hosted a match a couple weeks ago. I don't think you were there. I think I solo hosted it, and the question was, the answer was Tim. And
Yeah.
I was like asking the question, trying not to be like, but
I definitely.
Yeah.
You asked that question. I was just like, okay, yeah.
5, 4,
Don't react.
2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Cameron
I've written guns.
and David.
Dolls?
Dolls is correct. So David will take the 1-point lead, 3-2. Your next question is in the category of sci-fi icons.
Okay.
Which actor cameos in 2016's Ghostbusters as a paranormal debunker Martin Heiss? Ooh, I almost had a
Sounds like a beer brand.
Martin Heiss. You
Yeah.
want a Heiss? Yeah.
Now you know what it is. There was a brewery called Mike Hess.
Ooh.
I have a bunch of cups.
I don't know. Like, hey, you want a cold Marty Heiss? Yeah, I can see it.
Okay.
It's like a German lager. I could feel
Yeah.
that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to David
I know all of them have cameos, so I picked the big one, Bill Murray.
and Cameron.
Yeah, Bill Murray.
Bill Murray is correct. 4-3. What is next, Nick?
Your next question comes in the category of YA. In The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, what specifically is contained in the makeup case Corio gives to Lucy Gray before the Hunger Games?
I really like this movie.
That's good, Tim.
Oh. All right.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
No,
I
like
really like 2/3 of this movie.
That's what everyone says. I still like the last third. I think it's good.
We were watching and we got halfway through the last third, and I looked at it and I was like, I bet you're wondering, why is this still going?
5, 4,
She was like, I am wondering that.
2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Cameron
Rat poison.
and David.
I said poisonous dust.
Rat poison specifically is correct. So Cameron will tie it up 4-4. Your next question is in the category of the wizarding world.
Okay.
What is the full name of the alchemist who created the Sorcerer's Stone in Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald? That took a turn. Whew. Whoa! I remember seeing this film in the cinema at Rest in Peace AMC Madison 6. And when the movie ended, I turned to Margaret and I said, "The fuck?"
I saw this movie on a date, and my date fell asleep.
I remember you telling me that story. Like one of the first times we met. That was great. But not for you, but 3,
No.
2, 1. Pencil. I mean, it worked out for you. Let's go to David
Nicholas Flamel.
and Cameron.
I spelled it without the H, but Nicholas Flamel.
Nicholas Flamel is correct. 5-5. What's next?
Your next question comes in the category of Pixar.
Okay.
What is the name of the fraternity that Sully initially tries to join in Monsters University? We've had a Cameron. We've had a Nicholas.
Yeah. Speaking of monsters, there is now a season 2 of Monsters at Work. I got to get on that
Okay.
as the resident Monsters fan.
Suppose, yeah.
I got to keep up appearances, Nick.
Naturally.
It's not like I have a 1-year-old to take care of or anything.
True
I mean,
that.
that's an appropriate show for the kid to watch.
Oh, for sure. She would just sit there. I'll tell him the next one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Cameron
Roar, Omega, Roar.
and David.
Roar, Omega, roar.
Roar, Omega, Roar is correct. Your next question is coming in the category of criminal underworld. And your question is, who plays Vigo's brother, Abram Tasarov, in John Wick Chapter 2? So a gift from a friend of mine at work to Ellie when she was born was a Monsters Inc. onesie. And it also came with a little Mike Wazowski doll, and it's like Ellie's favorite toy. It stays in her car seat. So every time we put her in her car seat, we say, all strapped in, here's Michael. And we hand her Michael, and she goes, and holds Michael while she drives in the car. Loves him. 5, 4, 3.
Makes sense.
1. Pens down. Let's go to David.
I can remember.
And Cameron.
Peter Stormare.
Peter Stormare, the devil himself, is correct. So 7 to 6.
Remember that.
What's next, Nick?
An alternate question comes in the category of Law and Order. In which Law and Order film will you find a massage parlor called Heaven on Earth?
Pretty excited. It's HBO Sunday.
What?
It's HBO Sunday.
What does that mean?
It means that on Sundays, Maggie and I sit on the couch, eat a bucket of popcorn, and watch House of the Dragon. Or as I like to call it, Hot D.
Oh.
That is a choice you are legally allowed to make.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Cameron.
Rush Hour 2.
And David.
Rush Hour 2.
Rush Hour 2 is correct. It is 8 to 7 as we get into your final question of the round in the category of the MCU. What is the name of the leader of the Jotunheim Frost Giants in Thor? Maggie and I just started The Boys. I have seen it before. She has not. Last night we finished an episode. It was way past Maggie's bedtime, and she looked at me and said, "Let's watch another." That's how you know she's hooked.
It's very good. Season 4 is...
I saw a spoiler and I want to die.
That's fair. Season 4 is... I don't know.
I've heard it's fine.
Yeah, like, it's not making me, like, not watch it anymore, but I'm kind of like, where is all the old...
Hands down. I've heard it's a very transitional season. Let's go to David.
Luffy.
And Cameron.
I went for a thing from actual Norse mythology, which is not the right answer.
Laufey is correct. So we are all tied up 8 to 8. Is that what you have, Nick?
That's what I have, Tim.
All right, round number 2. How's it going to work?
Round number 2 is going to work like this. It is the wheel round. We have a wheel with 8 fandom categories, as well as spinners and opponent's choice. Each player will get a spin at the wheel. If they like what they spin the first time, they can keep it. If not, they can choose to spin again, but they will be forced to keep what they spin the second time. Pick up 5 questions in the chosen category, each worth 2 points apiece, unless you like trick down a multiple choice, at which point it'll only be worth 1. Be on the lookout at stealings available in round number 2. Tim, what's on the wheel today?
On the wheel today, which is brought to you by Dollar General and the best deals for baby. Look at the ads that I get. Your categories are Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, YA, DreamWorks Animation, DC, Criminal Underworld, and Sci-Fi Icons. It's a good thing you all know I have a baby. Otherwise, that would be weird. David, we're tied and you're higher ranked. You want to go first or second, my friend?
I'll go first.
Okay. I like the moxie. This is your spin. It lands on Marvel.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay. Nick, will you go ahead and give David his questions in the category of Marvel?
Gladly. David, are you prepared for your questions in the category of Marvel?
Sure.
Your first question. The main hero gets someone fired from their job and takes it for themselves in which Marvel film?
Well, let's do Spider-Man 3.
That is correct for 2 points. Your second question. Who plays Dave's girlfriend Katie in Kick-Ass?
Oh. Huh. Yeah, multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, Lindsay Fonseca, B, Lindy Booth, C, Brittany Snow, or D, Selena Gomez?
A.
A is correct for 1 point.
Fucking.
Your third question. In X2, X-Men United, what type of beverage does Logan drink while having a conversation with Bobby in the school?
It's a Coke.
We can accept that for 2 points. That is correct. We had soda, but I believe it is a Coke.
Okay.
In certain parts of the world, they also just use that as a catch-all term.
All right, David, your penultimate question in Marvel. In a post-credit scene of Venom, Eddie Brock goes to conduct an interview at what type of location?
Oh, okay. Fuck. Prison.
That's correct for 2 points.
Fuck.
Also, except
Like,
jail.
Yeah. All right, and David, your final question in Marvel. In The Punisher, what does Frank leave for Howard Saint on a golf course to show Howard that he is still alive?
No, multiple choice.
Your multiple choice options are: is it A, a car, B, a tombstone, C, a wedding ring, or D, his son's body?
Tombstone.
That is correct for 1 point and the sweep of Marvel.
So I have David getting his total up to 16. Is that what you have?
That's what I have, Tim.
All right, we'll bring back the wheel. This is going to be the. Oh, I should probably actually click on it, though. This is going to be the spin for Mr. Holzmann. And it lands on Star Trek.
I'll spin again.
Okay. And it lands on Star Trek.
Free will is an illusion.
All right. Cameron, are you ready for your questions in the category of Star Trek?
No, but you're going to ask them anyways.
I am. Your first question. In which Star Trek film is news received that a former Enterprise crew member has died of old age?
Right, that would count. Star Trek Beyond.
That is correct for 2 points. It would count.
I'm like, yeah, the timeline's a little complicated, but I think technically he is still a former.
It does. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, your second question. Which next generation Star Trek actor said the quote, Romulan ale should be illegal?
I think I know it, but I'm going to minimize the steal multiple choice.
All right, your options are A, LeVar Burton, B, Whoopi Goldberg, C, Michael Dorn, or D, Jonathan Frakes.
Well, it turns out I didn't know it. So it's a good thing I didn't shoot for 2. Michael Dorn.
That is correct for 1 point.
Definitely thought it was Brent Spiner.
Your next question. What is Chekhov's first name in the Star Trek series?
Pavel.
That is correct for 2 points. Your third question. What bad news does Kirk have to deliver to Decker at the beginning of Star Trek the Motion Picture?
You know, that's a great question. And I'm sure there's some great multiple choice options awaiting me.
Would you like to hear them?
I would like them, yes.
Your options are A, his wife is dead. B, he's losing command of the Enterprise. C, he failed the Kobayashi Maru test. Or D, his son has disappeared.
D.
That is incorrect. David, chance for a 1 point steal. Is it A, his wife is dead? B, he's losing command of the Enterprise. C, he failed the Kobayashi Maru test. Or D, his son has disappeared.
B as in boy.
That is correct for 1 point.
That movie sucks.
Yes, it does. And your final question, Cameron. What book does Picard quote to Lily in Star Trek First Contact, which she claims to never have read?
Ooh. Multiple choice.
All right, your options are A, Moby Dick, B, A Tale of Two Cities, C, The Odyssey, or D, Fahrenheit 451.
Oh, I had two in mind, and they somehow both ended up there. Moby Dick.
That is correct for 1 point.
I was like, it's Moby Dick or Charles Dickens.
All right, so Cameron gets his total up to 14 to David's 17 with the steals. Is that what you have?
That's what I have, Tim.
All right, let's get into round number 3. How's it going to work?
Round number 3 is going to work like this. It is the betting round. We have 5 more questions in the round of Fandom Fights. Once the players say the category, they can bet anywhere between 0 and 2 points on the question. If they get the question correct, they will gain those points. If they get the question incorrect, they will lose those points. We will play until someone is mathematically eliminated or we've reached the end of the match. Players, any questions as we get into round number 3? Go, Tim.
All right, the first category you can bet points on is Pixar. Let's get bets, starting with David.
1.
And Cameron.
2.
Okay, your question in the category of Pixar. What mode of transportation does Linguini take to work at the beginning of Ratatouille?
Watched this today.
Did you really? Nice.
Sure did.
Good film.
Agreed.
Maggie said the other day, we were talking about Inside Out 2 and where it would rank in the Pixar lexicon.
Sure.
And she said that Ratatouille is their best film they've ever made, but it is not her favorite. And I thought that was wise.
That is wise. Well done.
I thought it was wise. It's in my top 10, but it's not my favorite. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. David.
Bicycle?
And Cameron.
I think he drives like a moped.
I don't know who you're shaking no to, Nick. We have bike.
Bicycle is correct. Moped is not.
Okay, so 18 to 12.
So
then.
bicycle. Sure.
So bicycle is a bike. Moped is incorrect. 12 to 18.
David bet 1?
Yes.
Okay, then yes, that's correct.
All right. Then what's the next category, Nick?
Next category we have points on is DC.
Let's get bets, starting with Cameron.
Against my better judgment, 2.
All right. And David.
1.
Okay. What's the question, Nick?
Your question in DC. In Watchmen, who tells Adrian Veidt about the death of the comedian, not knowing that it was he who caused it?
Spoilers.
I know. Felt bad writing this. I was like, what if they've never seen it?
Then they don't really know what you're talking
And they wouldn't get this question right.
about. No. But maybe even if they've seen it, get this question.
That's also a possibility. Yes.
That happens to be a lot like trivia. Oh, I've seen that movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
And I believe if Cameron misses this at all, that will.
Correct.
When Cameron misses this.
3, 2, 1.
That's
It's
fine.
down. Let's go to Cameron
Dr. Manhattan.
and David.
Daniel.
And your winner, David Garcia. Daniel, Night Owl 2 is the correct answer. Nick, thoughts on the match?
Unfortunate round 2 for Cameron. He basically spun opponent's choice, not being able to spin off of Star Trek.
He did okay in Trek.
He did very well in Trek, but at the end of the day, I think he was hoping for something else. And when David puts up 8 points in round 2, you need something you're comfortable in. Because the fact is he gave up a key steal that allowed David to sort of widen the margin. And then just a fluke of a Pixar question, quite frankly. He clearly knows the movie very well, just mixed up 2 characters. At the end of the day, David played fantastic. They both got 8 in round 1. David didn't miss in round 2, got a steal, didn't miss in round 3. So David's playing very well for someone who is 3/4 of the way into the year after claiming they were done trying.
Yeah, right.
But at the end of the day, both still fantastic players, just fell in David's corner today.
Yep. All right, let's go talk to them in the post-match interviews.
Cameron, unfortunate series of events today. Like I said, not opponent's choice, but like you didn't really have an option to strategize in round 2, and then you got something that David's good at that you're not necessarily bad at, but you had to go to multiple choice a couple times. And when you're playing David and David's on the role that he's on, that could be the difference in a match. How are you feeling about your performance today?
I feel good overall. Like, yeah, round 1, I feel very good. Being tied with David, I was more than happy with. Then round 2, yeah, like Star Trek, maybe the thing I wanted the least on that wheel. And so it spun the first time. I was like, let's get that out of here. And then it came back. And I was like, well, crap. And like, yeah, I worked my way through it. But like, when you have movies like The Motion Picture in there that are just impossible to process anything because it's so boring, it's really hard. And then, yeah, like round 3, like Pixar is a thing I know, it's a thing I like. But Ratatouille is the one that like people love that I've never fully gotten the hype for. It's one that I'm not super on the hype train of. I remember there being the moped scene later, and I was like,
we'll never know what he was like.
well, am I back?
You're back. Hello.
I'm back. Yeah, I don't know when I cut out, but I was like, somebody owns a moped. And maybe it was Linguini. It wasn't Linguini, it turns out. And then yeah, DC, like again, not my favorite category, but I was kind of in a position where I had to bet. And then you said Watchmen. And I was like, well, I saw the movie once and I don't like it. I think it's very boring and very long. And would you believe that I wrote Night Owl 2? And then I was like, well, no, because like you got like Night Owl and Silk Spectre doing their stuff. And then you have Dr. Manhattan, Ozymandias, and Rorschach doing their stuff. So I changed it to Dr. Manhattan.
I would believe that you wrote it, but tis the nature of things. Cameron, this does unfortunately end your run in Act 4. We will see you again in various ways and forms throughout the rest of the season. But when you do come back in singles, is there anyone you're hoping to play against?
Now, statistically speaking, I should say Jack Pinchuk based off of the fact that it is the correct answer to that question if you are a person who breathes. But apart from him, I would say like who's a person I'd be down to play that's hanging around in the space. I'd be down to play like an Antonio Chavez maybe.
Okay.
I'd be down to play who's with it? I haven't played Jeremy Potters in a few weeks. I could play him again. Played Jacoby, haven't played him in a little bit. Just give me the people that I've played before. And me v Jeremy 4. Let's go for it. 4 matches in 2 years.
Great. Sounds like a plan. Cameron, congratulations on a great performance, and we'll see you next time. David, back in the winner's circle, and I will say a decisive win. You missed 2 questions the whole match. You're playing, as I said to Tim, you're playing very well. Are you fooling us all, or is all of it just still up there somewhere?
I feel a lot of animosity when you two talk about that particular side of my decision, but I don't know. I guess the questions fell my way today. Movies that I like, the Cameron thing, and I think the circumstances. I don't think I would have known that question if I wasn't playing Cameron. So I was just lucky, and Marvel is a category I know. And actually, I am pissed that I missed the YA one because I had rat poison in my head, and then I was like, wait, no, I don't think it's rat poison. And I was like, I don't know. Let's say if I take this, and I should have written rat poison. Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, I guess it's still.
I'm glad. Well, David, you will be moving on in this title picture potentially.
Okay.
This is a title picture, but like some shit's happening behind the scenes, so maybe it's not a title picture yet, but it will be. You're gonna play someone else, and that person you're gonna be playing, David, is Javi Madden. Tournament Cinderella darling, made it to the semifinals. Yep. You now have to play him for a chance at a contender match. So, thoughts about that?
Well, the second Spanish Civil War. We are catching up to real life. It's still a lot to go.
Okay.
Yeah, last time it went very well for me, but Javi was a rookie and I was at top of my level. Now Javi is playing at the top of his level and I am chilling. So I hope it's a good match. It's going to be fun I love Javi. So yeah, great. I just hope the questions go as well as they did today.
Sweet deal. Sounds like a plan. David, congratulations on the win. And we'll see you in the Spanish Civil War too.
Yeah.
Because there already was one, so this is.
Yeah, it's like a lot of them. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to do it for us today at Fandom Fights. I want to thank Cameron. I want to thank David. Thank you to Nick for writing. I've been Tim. We'll see you guys real soon with more great fandom matches. Be sure to watch all the other stuff going around here at Fandom Fights. We'll see you next time with another one. Bye.